Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we are doing a budget knife roundup. I wanted to put together the best budget knives that I have tried in the year of 2026. I tried to get it down to 10. I ended up at 15, and I came up with some parameters here. Originally, I was thinking maybe just $100 or under, but that's a little bit over budget. So I went to $80 and under, but then we're missing out on some stuff that's just a little bit more than that. But it is what it is. You got to draw the line somewhere, and so we're doing $80 and under budget knives. Let's get started. Coming in at number 15 is Dreamtech. This is the D4324, but I think you could put a lot of different models in this place. Really, I'm just talking about a Dreamtech knife that has this lock. I think they call this the Roundhouse lock. You have a button right there, and it adjusts the liner inside. So look, you press in, and it actually sucks the liner back when you press the button in. They have this lock on a whole bunch of different knives. They have it on some titanium and D2 knives that are pretty cheap. This one is 14C28N, so it's around that $50 range, but they have Dreamtech knives that are down in the $30 range that have a lock like this. This one has sort of a Tonto blade shape. This is kind of one of those up-and-coming companies, but I find their knives to be super fidgety. You get a lot for the money, and I really like this lock here. Not super crazy about the scales on this one, but like I said, there's a whole bunch of different options out there. Most of them are ambidextrous as well. And a lot of them have a front flipper that works really well too. So definitely check out Dreamtech if you haven't already. Number 14, the Ketuo Mini Griffin G10. Now there is a full size that's a little more expensive than this, and so it wouldn't have fit in this category, but both of them are under $100. This one I believe is in that like 75 to 78 range, and Ketuo knives are just made really, really well. They have a higher end version of this too that's in titanium, but this one is G10 14C28N steel, and it has a button actuated liner lock inside there, if you can see. So you press that button and it unlocks. Feels really, really durable. I like the way they do their G10. So you got the back flipper right there, a front flipper right there. Really cool blade shape as well on this. Awesome ergonomics too. You can hold it back here and still get 4 fingers on it, or you can hold it up here and choke up with that choil. I like their styling. You can usually tell, you know, a Ketuo knife from a mile away. You can see it and be like, I bet Ketuo made that. And just really good action. Their knives are made very, very well. If you haven't tried Ketuo yet, definitely worth checking them out. Number 13, the HX Outdoors TD15T. Now, what makes this pretty wild is that you have a D2 knife, D2 blade steel with titanium for like 35 to 40 bucks. Yeah, I just looked, $39.99. So it is a liner lock. Really nice titanium construction on it. You have a back flipper on this thing and a little flick hole as well. Really good action too, and pretty ergonomic. Kind of feels like a smaller Spyderco or something because the way that blade is, you got some jimping right there and you can choke up right there. Very thin behind the edge as well. I think it's nice looking. It's not a super big knife, but you can still get 4 fingers on it, especially if you choke up. You know, if you're somebody that's budget conscious and you've always wanted a titanium knife, you can get one for under 40 bucks now, and this thing feels really nice. It has good action. And I think that it's just a really nice blade shape as well. A really good EDC knife. I'll have a full review on this soon, so definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Number 12, the CJRB Maximal. Now, this is a design by David C. Anderson that works at the Knife Center. You've probably heard of him. He made a really good EDC design here. If you like bigger knives as well, they did just come out with an XL version of this. There's a lot of good CJRB knives out there that are usually in that 50 or under range with their nice RPM 9 steel. But the reason I picked this one is because it's a smaller knife, but it fills out the hand really well. I really like the way he did the handle on this to where, you know, it's not a very big knife in your pocket, but the way that the handle's shaped fits my hand really well, even though I have large hands. Really nice crossbar lock action as well. Super useful drop point blade. Ergonomics feel great. And really nice micarta scales. And so I think he knocked this one out of the park, and definitely want to try out the XL version of this as well. I can even manipulate it with my right hand. So I wear double XL gloves, just so you know, if you're wondering why every knife looks a bit smaller, but it still fits my hand really well. I can get all 4 fingers on it. Number 11, the Ironfly Syperfly. Now, you could put multiple different Ironfly knives in this category. I just picked this one because I really like this design, but there's some other cool ones as well. This is a larger knife. Think like a budget Microtech MSI type size. And what's so cool about this brand is that it is Kunwu's budget brands. So you know the action, the machining, the QC, the quality is going to be there because it's Kunwu. Reversible pocket clip with a nice wire clip, which I love. It is a front flipper, pretty easy to front flip even though it's a big knife. Drop shut action. Just really, really well done, perfectly centered. If you like bigger knives, you like a blade shape like this, more of a sheep's foot blade shape, it's definitely worth checking out. Like MSI is a little bit out of your budget, check out this thing. You have more than enough room on that handle. That was choked up. You can hold it back here. Very, very slicey blade, 14C28N. And these are, I think, in that, $50-ish range. Number 10, any Tenable Fenrir that's under 80 bucks. Okay, this one's one of their button lock versions. I have one of their top liner lock versions as well somewhere, but couldn't find it. I love this knife. They have so many versions of this now. There's also the Concept Fenrir if you want one that's a little more high-end. Really awesome blade shape. It's pretty iconic now. It feels great in the hand. Kind of Spyderco-esque a bit, with the way it looks, but it still has its own style. The budget versions of these can be anywhere from like 50 to 75 bucks. This one's micarta. Very, very good EDC knife. Very slicey blade, very thin behind the edge, and just looks cool. People like that look. It's a little bit more aggressive looking, but also makes a lot of sense as far as ergonomics and the slicing capabilities. So I'm a big Fenrir fan. If you haven't tried one yet, definitely worth it. The Remette Rhino. This is the D2 version that's like 35 bucks, but there's also the micarta 14C version that's, in that $55 range. The D2 doesn't have as good of action as the 14C version, but it's like 20 bucks cheaper and still has, really nice action for a knife like this. It is a button actuated liner lock. You can unlock it like this as well, or you can use the button. So you got that button right there. This comes in a bunch of different styles, even a higher end style. Ergonomics on this are pretty fantastic as well. There's a lot of good Remette budget knives that are out there, but this is definitely one of my favorites and kind of a classic now. So you got those thumb studs, and you also got a front flipper as well. A little bit harder on the D2 version. I just find this version to be a bit stiffer than some of the others, but still really nice knife. Number 8, the Olatons Lemon Shark. I just started using this more recently, and I freaking love it. I understand why people like this design. This is one of Olatons' most popular knives. Now, I wouldn't necessarily get the PEI version here, the Ultim version, but it comes in a lot of other options as well. G10, micarta, and most of them are going to be under $50. It has 10CR15 MOV blade steel, which is very similar to VG10, so a really nice steel with good edge retention. Ergonomics are fantastic on this thing. The action is really, really good. It's a liner lock. You have the studs there for reverse flicking or thumb flicking. And you also have a front flipper that works really, really well. So let's see if I can flip it like this. Yeah, that's how you know it's easy, is when I can do that. Nice looking knives as well. I think Olitans does a good job. They're one of those kind of underappreciated, underrated knife companies. And I'll have a video coming up soon on this one and one of the other models, because I think they do an awesome job and it's a great EDC knife. Number 7, the Trivisa Gecko. All right, now there's a lot of good Trivisa knives out there, but this is the one that I bonded with the most. I reviewed the Batwing recently, the smaller Batwing, and it kind of cut up my hand a little bit with that crossbar lock. So, I like their knives that are a little bit larger, like the larger Batwing, or this one, the Gecko. A lot of that's just my problem. I've stated this before in videos where crossbar locks, I go to shut them and I end up slicing my hand right there. But anyway, they have a lot of good models. This one's just my favorite. I love the blade shape on the Gecko. A liner lock design. You got a front flipper as well. Works really well. You got really nice micarta scales, and the ergos on this are just fantastic. I can even use it with my right hand there, no problem. Feels really good. You got jimping right up there. This one I think is in that like $65 range, 14C 28N steel. One of the better looking budget knives out there. Love the way that they did their micarta, and I love the wire clip as well. Just this one's going to be like a budget classic in my opinion. Number 6, the QSP Ferret. Now, there's a lot of, QSP lovers out there. The Penguin's probably their most popular one, but I really love the Ferret. If you're someone that wants like a Benchmade bug out, but you want something cheaper, this one definitely fits the bill. Yeah, it's slightly heavier. I think this is like 2.5 ounces, but it's just got that perfect evergreen, drop point blade shape. They're similar in size. Ergos are fantastic on this, and this has some of the best action on the table. It just feels really good. It feels a little bit different than a lot of other knives. And it's a simple, like I said, evergreen design. But they have a lot of different models, so if you like different colors, things like that, you can check it out. And these go for under $50. Really nice, great EDC knife. Really good size if you're someone that likes that, 3-inch blade shape. Nitro V steel, I just really like this model, and I think it deserved even more praise. It's just, there's a lot of knives that look like this out there, but they do it better than most that I've seen. Number 5, Critical Strike, and I'm basically saying any model. I think this one's like the X503 or 504. Let's see if it says here on the blade. Yeah, there it is, X504. The reason these are so awesome is that other number right there, the VG10. You get VG10 for under $30 with some of these models. I ordered some of their other ones that just came out. They have some button lock versions. There's one called the Shamu. I was hoping that would be here before this video because I wanted to check those out as well. But like I said, really any of these knives that are in VG10 in that $30 range are just a crazy, crazy deal. VG10's an awesome steel. Used to be back in the day, VG10 would be on knives that are like $80 or more, and that was back before prices went up. But now getting VG10 at this price range is amazing. Also, from what I heard, this company isn't owned by Kunwu, but it's made in like the same factory. So like the OEM, or it's like a sister brand or something. So gosh, see, there I go with my right hand, almost cutting myself. Sorry. So like the OEM for Kunwu and for the IronFly is the same as these guys. I believe, or at least they're using the same factory. It's something like that. There's some kind of relation there, but these knives for the price are freaking fantastic. If you like crossbar locks too, this one has a really good one. Fairly stiff crossbar lock, which I like. Really nice action on it. Really good blade shape. And this one's a good, medium-sized knife. I want to say it's like 3.4 inches. It's been a while since I measured it, but something like that. Feels good in the hand. And they have a bunch of other awesome models as well. One of the better deals when it comes to pocket knives in 2026. Now, number 4, I have 2 Kizers. I couldn't really decide. You could even put the Drop Air 2 in here as well. But, a Kizer with their top liner lock, that's a good EDC size, I think is amazing. This one's the little Ringbo. Really bonded with this one this year. I don't think it got as popular as some of the other models, but it deserved to be. Kind of a modern looking, Drop Air 2. Feels great in the hand still. You got a really nice, drop point sort of leaf style blade shape. Very, very slicey, great for EDC, and really nice action as well. So I love this thing, but like I said, if you don't, check out a Drop Air 2 if you haven't got one of those. Or, I really like their new Begleiter 2.9 if you want a smaller knife that's kind of almost like a gentleman's carry. You get almost 3 inches of blade here, but this feels like nothing in the pocket. This one's micarta. It's got their top liner lock as well. Awesome action on it. And I've been using this knife a lot in the summertime because it's so small. It's a good shorts carry knife. Love the action on it. Love the blade shape. This one has BD1N steel, which is totally fine for a knife like this, in my opinion. A little bit better edge retention than 14C28N. It's not as durable, but you're not going to do a ton of hard work with a knife this size. But yeah, I think there's other Kizers you could have put in this spot as well. They come out with so many knives, and a lot of them this year have been bangers, especially in that, budget territory. And I really can't wait to get my hands on that new Milita. That one's a little more expensive, not really in budget territory, but it's just a really cool new design, and I've always wanted a Milita. And they finally made one with reversible clips. Number 3, North Mountain Blades, new NMB-T series. This is like their budget line of North Mountain blade knives. D2 that's coated for $50 with that awesome blade shape, that cool, 45 caliber thumb disc right there with their crossbar lock, micarta scales. Feels great in the hand. You can reverse the clip. You guys know I love North Mountain blade, and they now have a really nice budget line. This comes in like a blue micarta, a green, a purple, and you can get a carbon fiber version one for $75. Love the action on these. Awesome Tanto blade shape. I use my other North Mountain blades a lot, and they're just doing something a little bit different than other knife companies out there. Yeah, this one still has a crossbar lock, whatever, but that cool blade shape, some of the other ones that like the SLD Magic or the ones with the, copper cladding, stuff like that, really like their styling, and this knife is one of the most ergonomic on the table for me. Love the way it fits in the hand. You can get a lot of stuff done. It's more of a full-size blade, I would say. And now you can get one of these NMB-Ts for $50, which I think is a deal. If you don't know much about this company, watch my other video on them, and you can check out their website. They have a lot of really awesome designs, and one of the more unique companies out there. Really dig this blue micarta as well. All right, number 2, we can't forget Vosteed. These two knives have been at the top of lists for, a few years now. You got the Porcupine right here with the top liner lock. They do one of the best top liner locks out there. This one's just a classic EDC knife. Fits great in the hand. You can choke up like that. Really useful and slicey blade shape. And great, well, I don't do it as well with the hole though. I like the one that has the thumb studs a little better, but great action on these. You can also thumb flick it as well. And these go for, in that like $70 range or so, a little bit less with some of them, I believe. And just one of those classic budget knives now, one of the best budget knives out there, that's ever existed. Manufacturing's awesome, great looking knives. We're sort of in like just the best budget knife time that's ever existed that, I think people are almost taking it for granted now. Now you have so many good budget knives out there that no one's really like surprised, oh, that knife's cool for $70 or whatever, but who cares? Because there's just so many budget knives out there, but still, Vosteed has one of the best of them, and you should feel spoiled. When I first started collecting knives about 10 years ago, it wasn't like this. Now, if you want something a bit bigger, check out the Raccoon, just a little bit larger size. This is the Bowie blade shape, but they also have some in drop point and some other blade shapes as well. Just a tiny bit larger than the Porcupine, but still great for EDC. You can choke up like that. It's a nice knife. This one is in G10. And great action, super solid lockup on both of these. Okay, so number 1, I got to give it to Miguron. Because of their new cryo-treated D3 steel that is coming out between 62 and 63 HRC, you have the Karok here that I already reviewed. Really unique blade shape, really ergonomic. I like this knife so much, I bought a second one. I bought one in the titanium scales. This version with aluminum scales is like $38. They have one in G10 that I think is like $35, $36. Really awesome action on these. You have the button liner lock, but it's that front liner. You can unlock it like that. The titanium ones like under 60, 55 to 60. Super useful blade shape as well. Very, very ergonomic in my opinion. They're kind of funky looking, but it all makes sense. Like you can really get your thumb locked in because of that ramp right there, and it feels really good. You can even go all the way out there, but I tend to hold this just like that, or back here with my thumb up there. And so the reason people are going crazy for this steel is like a 63 HRC well heat treated D2 steel is gonna give you edge retention that could potentially rival like S30V. Somebody's probably gonna come and argue with me on that. It's definitely not as good as far as corrosion resistance as S30V. Probably not as tough either, I don't think. But as far as edge retention goes, 63 HRC on D2 is freaking awesome. If you want a crossbar lock version instead, this is the new, it's THALY. So Thally or Tally. Feel free to let me know in the comments, but this has the same steel. Interesting blade shape, like a clip point, but quite a bit is clipped there. I think we would still call that a clip point. And then you have this nice spot right here for your thumb. Also aluminum scales. It's a little bit smaller than the Karok. Actually, let's see here. Yeah, not by much though. So it's a good like 3-inch, 3.1-inch EDC knife. I'll have a review up on this one as well, and it's got that same awesome steel. That's why it's up here. These knives are freaking fantastic for the price. This one's also in that like $35, $36, $37 range, and I just don't think you're gonna find anything with this good of edge retention in that price range out there. They're the kings right now. This one's brand new. It's a little bit oily if you're wondering what's on my fingers, but the action on it does feel quite nice and feels very ergonomic as well. So Miguron's killing it. They also have another steel that they're using now, like 18C something or 19C something. It's supposed to be a little bit, more of an upgrade compared to 14C. Sorry if I butchered the name. I purchased one of those on my own and I have it being shipped to me because I really want to try that steel as well, and they're heat treating that to 63. So I'll put links in the description for all of these guys. Like I said, we've never lived in a better, budget knife time. There's a lot of different options. You don't have to spend a ton of money to get a really nice knife. And if your favorite budget knife wasn't in this video, feel free to let us know what it is down in the comments. I can't try every single knife out there and everybody has different opinions, so don't go too hard on me, but would love to know what your favorites are. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and check out one of my others. That about wraps it up. Until next time, thanks for watching.